these bags were $5 each. The fourth bag came out of the boutique room. See Jesus there? He was part of the $5 bag. So here's what I got. And you can already see, just in this little pile, we haven't taken anything out yet. Just in this little pile, all of these items are singly priced. So right here is $10 if I would have bought it the day before. So waiting for the bag sale, it's the way to go. So you can see, I'll take a closer look at what I purchased and maybe what I was thinking when I did purchase it, and show you that, you know, by selling just one of these items, I'll make up that $5 and $10 pretty quickly. And all in, we spent $36. Oftentimes I gravitate to things I just have no clue what they are. I have no clue what this is. It was in the boutique room. It looked old. It looked interesting. $7. So again, filling an entire bag for $10. So if I would have bought it the day before, you know, you miss out on some pretty good savings if you go as a reseller to the actual sale. So I pick up things that are handmade. I pick up things that are unique. This one I might have to keep for myself. That one I loved. And again, you know, $42 to $10. So initially when I got to the sale and things were already marked, I just kind of zoned in and zeroed in on things that had a higher price tag. So old, different, interesting, no clue what it's worth, but how can you go wrong at that type of sale? So again, this would have been $4. I pick up linens to wrap some of these breakables in and then turn around and sell the linens as well. This looked to be, you know, a handmade item. So I'll grab a few linens that are cute and I'll resell those. This is beautiful. I don't know, you know, anything about wooden spoons, but it looked old. It was $10 on its own. It was signed. So those are some of the reasons why I gravitate to the things that I do. All silk, bow ties, cummerbunds. Definitely those you just stuff in the bag. Those are good. Vintage jewelry containers, men's and women's. Always pick those up. People are still always looking for those. Here's what the inside of it looks like. Just super clean. You know, you don't think that people might still want something like that, but it's surprising. I've sold a lot of vintage men's and women's jewelry boxes. Mugs, a lot of people love selling mugs. This one happened to be Vera Bradley, so it looked like for tea maybe, or it's a coaster that you put on top, but in the bag. I have sold this brand before. They are candle. You put a votive candle or a regular candle underneath. This is Heather, I think it's Gold Mink. I have actually sold her items, several of her items before. And again, it was in, you know, the bag, but $10 on its own. Interesting bourbon bottles. My husband poked into the golf area and he did really well. These shoes in particular, I'll put a screenshot of what they'll go for, but they were, it was $16 at the sale. Nobody grabbed them, so in the bag. Lennox frame, doesn't look to have been used. So I love selling hard goods. I think there's less people. It's to me, it's harder to sell clothing. I don't love selling clothing. I feel like I don't really get returns on hard goods. So to me, it's more fun to pick up something that's different and unique. And you know, the shipping, I think that's what people get afraid of, but you learn and you make mistakes and you learn. And so again, I don't know anything about interesting looking clowns, but how can I can't go wrong. I'm going to make up the money so quickly that why not pick up a couple of paper mache clowns? So these were left in the boutique room. Again, I don't know what they are. I'm going to do some research. I use Google Lens, so I'll snap a picture of it, take that photo and upload it to Google Lens, and oftentimes I'll find the artist, I'll find out a lot more about it, and it really helps me figure out what in the world I grabbed. So I look for handmade, I look for vintage, I look for things that have stickers on them, things that are from Europe, and oftentimes just gravitate to the weird stuff. Love picking up Bibles, love picking up frames. Crosses do really well for me. The last ones I lotted them up. I just had a lot of them. And you know, at the church rummage sales, you tend to find a lot of different unique crosses. So I put all of them in a lot and sold it for I think $50. I've actually sold that ornament before. I had that one. Waterford, crystal ornaments, people collect them. Lennox, Gorham, Orifors. I didn't know what that was, so I ran it through Google Lens. It was in the boutique room, and it's for a turkey, so sure. These are floral frogs, I think they call them. I've seen people sell them before, so sure. I love, these were in a very picked over bin. I love selling, these are suede women's gloves. I sell a lot of vintage women's gloves. These were interesting colors, made in France. It's a beautiful purse. It was in the boutique room. Little mirror inside. It's just so cute. Shoes, shoe trees. I'm gonna sell those in a lot. Vintage wooden shoe trees. There were a lot of them left over. There were some in the shoes, and I picked them up, or pulled them out of the shoes. And I think I'm going to put them all together. And with wooden shoe trees, there's a number on them, so be sure you list them with the number. This pair, it just, because it's like a camouflage to me, the super high heel. I check out the heels to make sure that they're not too worn. Again, on the bottom, it was unique and looked to be, on this other shoe, European in sizing. I don't know the brand. I'll have to research that, but I just don't think I can really go wrong. Guess patent leather. Again, the heel was in pretty good shape. They don't look like they've even been worn more than once. So, sure. And then Ivanka Trump. I've sold Ivanka Trump purses and shoes for pretty good money. Super high heel, not very worn. You just look at the detail on them. And the shoes that I pick up tend to be, a little more unique. And these I liked. It's because they were Crocs. And Crocs in a little bit bigger size and still in pretty good shape. So I came home with some women's shoes. So here's some of the smaller items that I picked up, and I'm going to go through them and tell you what I was thinking when I grabbed them. So at a certain point, I was looking for more or less like bag fillers because the bag was getting full, but there was still room. So I just went around all the tables and grabbed what I thought, looked different, unique. And so if there is an artist's signature on the back, that's always good for me because then you can look up and see comps on it. So I just thought that was cute. This particular thing, Mercedes-Benz keyring, was holding the lock for the $5 golf bag that we bought for our son. Travel bag, so $5 there. I'll put up a comp and show you what that bag is going for. But inside was this Mercedes keyring that was holding the key and lock for that golf bag. And so I pulled the keys off, put it on a little twist tie. I don't think our son will ever lock it. And I've found things inside bags before that I've sold. So there isn't really anything like this. So I'm just going to make up my own price. But Mercedes-Benz, somebody's going to want that. So I think it's like a vintage mid-century candy dish, nut dish. That was 10. And has the type of wood and who makes it. So I grabbed that. These little decanters were in the boutique room. Now I'm wondering if that should be green. But those look cute. Little salt and pepper shakers, especially Christmas ones. I've sold a lot of those. So I think those were $5. Yep, $5 a set. I love ceramics. I love frames. I love to pick up ethnic items. This was cute. This was in the boutique room. I wasn't sure, but I just bought it on the fact that it was $7. But then I got home and realized shot glass. You tip upside down. That was cute. Someone's going to want that for their bar. Yeah. I think I did really, really good this time. So again, I'll pop up some of these items and what they've sold for. Make sure when you're listing things on eBay or Poshmark, Mercari, that just because someone prices it a certain way does not mean that that's what it's going to sell for. So make sure you check what it's sold for and base your pricing on that. This was probably the most unique thing I found, is that I found Jesus at the sale. And initially when I looked at him, I don't know, I think that looks maybe hand painted. So truth be told though, why I grabbed him initially was that someone priced him at $20. So, and these charms, I think they were put on by hand. So I don't know how to price him. And, he has a hole in his head. I don't know what that would be for. He has, I think, felt. Yeah, it's felt on the bottom. So what I do in situations like this, right, I think that's hand done. What I do in situations like this is I will start out by putting something like this on auction on eBay. And I'll choose the minimum price that I'm willing to take for him, and then see if there's any interest or if anyone, might know more about this or want this. But I'll do that a couple times. Start out by putting something unique like this on auction. But when you do that, you need to start it at a price that you're willing to let it go at, because it could go at the minimum price. So, don't price it at 99 cents. So start out with the minimum price that you'll take. And then if you really don't know what something's worth and there's literally nothing else like it, which I looked on Google image search, there's nothing like this. So it's kind of fun. I'll take a chance at him. And you can't go wrong with picking up Jesus at the church rummage sale, I don't think.